It all started on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. The kind of day when the sky seems heavy with sorrow, and even the busiest streets feel unusually quiet. People were rushing by, heads down, shoulders hunched, trying to escape the cold drizzle. But for one young woman, Emily, the rain mirrored the storm inside her heart. She had just lost her job, her savings were running thin, and she felt invisible in a world that seemed to move too fast for anyone to notice. She walked through the city streets, gripping her umbrella, feeling the weight of loneliness press harder with every step. Then, something happened, a simple, unexpected act that would change everything. A stranger smiled at her, offered her a warm cup of coffee, and listened when she spoke. That single moment of kindness sparked a chain reaction that neither of them could have imagined, one that would not only lift Emily out of despair but also touch the lives of everyone around them in ways no one saw coming. Before we dive deeper into this story, take a moment to subscribe to our channel, Kindness Story Hub, and don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. Every story you engage with spreads a little more warmth in the world. Just like the one we're about to tell, Emily had always been independent. She prided herself on being able to handle life's challenges, no matter how tough. But this week had been relentless. Her apartment was cold and silent, her phone had been ringing with rejection after rejection, and even her friends were too busy to notice the subtle cracks forming in her optimism. Walking past the little coffee shop on Fifth Avenue, she almost didn't see the man standing by the door. He was holding 2 cups of steaming coffee and had a calm, gentle look on his face that felt strangely reassuring. "Hey," he said, extending a cup toward her. "Looks like you could use this more than I do." Emily hesitated. She wasn't used to strangers being kind. She'd read too many stories, seen too many warnings. People had motives, right? But something about his smile felt genuine. She accepted the cup, feeling the warmth seep into her cold hands, and somehow, into her weary heart. "I'm Marcus," he said, settling into the seat across from her. I know what it's like to feel invisible. If you want to talk, I'm all ears." And just like that, Emily started talking. About her job loss, her fears, her worries about rent and bills. She spoke in fits and starts, expecting little more than polite nods, but Marcus listened. Really listened. He didn't interrupt. He didn't offer empty reassurances. He simply gave her the rare gift of his full attention. Over the next hour, the rain outside slowed, and for the first time that week, Emily felt lighter. She realized that kindness wasn't just about giving something tangible, it was about presence, about making someone feel seen. Marcus didn't know it, but that one conversation reminded her that the world could still hold goodness, even in its quietest, simplest forms. Weeks passed, and Emily and Marcus continued to meet at that little coffee shop. Each encounter became a gentle lifeline, a reminder that she wasn't alone. They shared stories, hopes, and laughter. Marcus, a freelance writer struggling with his own insecurities, found in Emily a kindred spirit. Their friendship blossomed, and in the process, both began to rebuild pieces of themselves they thought were lost. But the story didn't end there. One chilly afternoon, Emily noticed a small boy sitting alone on the curb outside the shop. He was shivering, clutching a worn backpack, and staring at the wet pavement with a sadness that mirrored her own past weeks. Without hesitation, she invited him in, offered him some hot chocolate, and listened as he quietly shared that he had been separated from his mother during a busy street festival. Emily called the local authorities, stayed by the boy's side, and helped reunite him with his frantic mother. Seeing the relief on the mother's face, the gratitude in her eyes, Emily felt a surge of something powerful: joy, yes, but also a deep understanding of how one small act could ripple outward. That day, she realized kindness wasn't just about receiving, it was about paying it forward, creating a chain of care and compassion that could touch lives in ways we often never see. From that moment on, Emily made it her mission to notice the small opportunities to be kind in everyday life. She paid for a stranger's groceries when she saw a young mother struggling at the checkout. She helped an elderly man carry his heavy packages up the subway stairs. She sent encouraging notes to colleagues and friends, reminding them of their worth. Every act, no matter how minor it seemed, felt like a thread weaving together a more connected, human world. Marcus noticed the change too. Inspired by Emily's growing generosity, he began volunteering at a local shelter, offering writing workshops to teens who needed guidance and hope. Together, they realized that kindness could become a shared purpose, a way to turn personal struggles into something meaningful that extended far beyond themselves. One evening, as they walked through the park after a long day, Marcus turned to Emily. "Do you remember that rainy day when we met?" he asked. "I had no idea a cup of coffee could lead to all this." Emily smiled, thinking of the countless small moments that had followed, moments of laughter, of encouragement, of reaching out to others. "I do," she said softly. "And I'll never forget that one moment of kindness. It didn't just change my day. It changed my life." The truth is, none of us know exactly how far the impact of a single act of kindness can reach. A smile, a word of encouragement, a small gesture, these things may seem insignificant in the moment, but they have the power to transform lives. Emily and Marcus's story is a perfect example. One encounter, one conversation, one cup of coffee, and suddenly two lives that felt broken found connection, purpose, and hope. And the kindness they shared didn't stop there. It continued to ripple outward, touching the boy and his mother, the teens at the shelter, strangers on the street, and so many others in ways they would never fully know. Kindness is contagious. It doesn't need grand gestures or heroic acts to make a difference. Sometimes, it's as simple as pausing to listen, offering a warm word, or taking a small action that shows someone they matter. The beautiful thing is, you don't need a special reason to be kind. Every day presents countless opportunities to make someone feel seen, heard, and valued. And often, that simple choice can set off a chain reaction that changes more than one life. It can change your own life. Emily's story teaches us that even when the world feels cold and uncaring, there is hope in small acts of kindness. It reminds us that being kind doesn't just benefit the person receiving it, it nurtures our own spirit, strengthens our connections, and reminds us that we are all part of something bigger than ourselves. When you choose to reach out, to care, to notice, you become part of a network of goodwill that has the power to transform communities, hearts, and even entire lives. And so, the next time you see someone struggling, or feeling unseen, remember Emily and Marcus. Remember the boy on the curb. Remember the rain, the coffee, the conversation that started it all. You don't need a big moment to make a difference. You only need the courage to act with compassion, to offer your time, your attention, your warmth, and your heart. That one moment, your one moment, could change someone's life forever, because kindness, even in its simplest form, is powerful. It is transformative. And it always finds a way to ripple outward, far beyond what we can imagine. So today, take that step. Smile at a stranger. Listen to someone who needs to be heard. Offer help where it's needed. It may feel small, but in the grand story of life, it could be the moment that changes everything. After all, in a world that often feels rushed and disconnected, it is the small, selfless acts of kindness that remind us of what really matters, the shared human connection that binds us all together. One moment can change a life. One act of kindness can create a chain reaction. And one person, like you, can start that ripple today.